So how's it going, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the channel. So today is Sunday. Happy Sundays, everybody, and I really hope you guys are having a great day today. So if you're new to the channel, I am Brexer and I create content anything Yu-Gi-Oh and everything Yu-Gi-Oh. Today we are gonna talk about Despia still. More specifically, Despia Synchro. The deck was actually tedious or very complex to build, since of course you have branded opening just limiting you to some fusion monsters. But nevertheless, we actually found some cards that can do external work with regards to the synchro summoning, since Despia's only focus on fusions, and that's it. So you might be wondering what's the format or what's the composition of the deck. Well, let's get into Master Duels and check the deck out. So here we are, ladies and gents, in Master Duel. So this is the deck composition that I've created for the Despia Synchro. So with Synchro monsters, which is the Boral Sword, the Baron, the Floor, Chaos Magical Dragon, this ups the field presence of 3000 with an effect present on the field as well. So yeah, let's get into the deck composition and check the deck out on why I've chosen these monsters or why I've chosen these cards for the deck specifically. So first and foremost, you have your Cyframe Driver. As you may know, this card is paired with a Gear Gamma as always, or sometimes the other Cyframe Gear monsters. But I choose Cyframe Gear Gamma since you, or most of the time in Platinum, there are effect monsters activated during your turn from your opponent's side of the field. So yeah, having a Cyframe Gear Gamma comboed out and then special summon to your Synchro, which is Chaos Ruler, and then that extends a lot. Next, we have your Buten. So this card, so what you need to do is do the basic stuff, wherein you just summon your Diviner to the field, dump your Trias from your deck to the graveyard. Trias will then tribute the monster or Diviner from the field and special summon itself to the field. Then, of course, Diviner will prompt its activation since it is tributed, allowing you to special summon Buten to the field. So having a level 1 tutor and a level 9 monster, you can immediately go for Baron the Flow. So that is the basic combo for summoning a Synchro monster, and of course with the help of your Cyframe Gear Gamma, these are all your extenders for a good combo. For Despian Tragedy, I still run with 2 because 3 is just too much. And then, of course, you can just Foolish Burial this card to the graveyard. So yeah, your Cyframe Gear Gamma, 2 copies. Your Diviner of Herald. So Diviner of Herald, I plan on getting 3 copies, but problem with I don't have cards at the moment. So if you have 3 copies, good for you. Just remove 1 Reasoning and have 3 copies of Diviner of Herald for this build. 3 copies of Ash Blossom for negation purposes. 3 copies of Fallen of ALBAZ, of course. 3 copies of Oliver. 2 copies of Kaiju. Just the dark monsters will be good. And 1 copy of Dogmatica Fleur de Lis. So this card can be special summoned if ever there's a monster from the extra deck summoned to the field. You can special summon this monster. And if ever you have your Titanic Lad sent to the graveyard, by the end of their turn, you can either get a copy of Fallen of ALBAZ or Dogmatica card, either added to your hand or summon it to the field. Next up, you have your 2 copies of Dramaturge of Despia. So 3 copies is not really applicable since you will break from time to time if ever you pulled more than 1 on your hand. So yeah, having 2 copies is just on a sweet spot for this deck. And then your copy or 1 copy for Trias, and then your Magic and Traps. You have your Monster Reborn for your monster board. And then 1 copy of Foolish Burial since you need to dump your Tragedy to the graveyard and then do a combo with Oliver for fusion summoning. 2 copies of Reasoning at the moment. I would like to prefer 1 copy of Reasoning and then 3 copies of Diviner, like I said. 2 copies of Allure of Darkness, just in case you need to draw. 1 copy of Lightning Storm. 1 copy of Fleuret de Fleur. So this card is really nice, and it was introduced recently in the new patch or the new season for Master Duels. So what this card does is special summon a level 2 or lower tuner monster from your graveyard and summon it to your side of the field. So you either summon Cyframe Gear Gamma, which of course this summoning condition is only by effect, or effect cards, must be spell summoned by card effects. So see that? You can summon it using Fleuret de Fleur, or you can even summon your Diviner of Herald. And not only that, if this card is sent from your field to your graveyard, you can target one Synchro monster on your side of the field and equip it to that, which of course grants 700 attack to the targeted monster. So 2 copies of Tether, 2 copies of Super Poly, since of course you already have your ALBAZ, why not just add 2 more cards for breaking boards. 2 copies of Cold by the Grave, and also your branded opening, 3 copies of this. Although branded opening is not really the best synergy for Synchro summoning, it limits you only to fusion monsters. I advise you Synchro first or Synchro summon first, then you branded opening a card, and then you do your combos for the fusion. So that's one thing to take note with regards to this build. Now for your extra deck, it's just the typical monsters for fusion summoning, which is your Starving Venom, of course, it's very useful. Your Predaplant Dragostipelia, as usual. Your Titanic Lad, your Spread the Iron Dash, your Albion the branded, 2 copies of Quartus, 1 copy of Proskinion, 1 copy of the first Dark Lord, since of course you don't run with Dark Lords in this build, and I've tried, it's very hard, it's gonna be more than 40 cards if ever you're gonna run Despia Dark Lord Synchro. But it works, but yeah, you'll brick from time to time if you use that kind of Synchro with Despia. For your Synchro monsters, you have your Dragonite Knight, since I needed a level 6 for the effects of Halki Fibrax, since this is of course a Synchro tuner. Or if you manage to get a TG Magician or even another level 6 monster, but this is actually an optional card since this is the only Synchro tuner that I have at the moment that is very cheap. It's a normal Synchro tuner monster. So next you have your Boral Sword Savage Dragon. Of course, if you ever have these Link monsters in your graveyard, you can use the effect of Boral Sword. Then you have your Chaos Ruler, and then your Baron the Floor. And then for your Link monsters, you have your Halki Fibrax, since this card can immediately Synchro summon a Synchro tuner monster to your side of the field. And lastly, your Predaplant Verti Anaconda, just for a failsafe if ever your other fusion cards are not present on your hand or on the field. So I think that's the deck profile for this, guys. And of course, after this is going to be a replays. Check that one out after this. So that's it for today, guys. And if you like the content, feel free to subscribe, of course. Let's get this to 50. If ever I need to change anything, just comment in the section below and tell me otherwise. So that's me signing off. Keep safe, good luck, and have a great end to your weekend.